All right. Hey, this is Jeremy, and this is today's 5 for 5 devotion. I believe that all of us who follow Jesus have a deep desire in our heart to help other people. Sometimes we don't know how to help other people, and sometimes we don't want to help those who maybe are trying to scam us or maybe trying to get the best of us, but we want to help others. Jesus says that whenever we do something for other people who are needy, we're doing it for Him. How do I know this? Well, listen to these words in Matthew chapter 25, starting in verse 34. The king will say to those on his right, the people who follow Jesus and believe in Him, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I didn't have any clothes on, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Well, then the righteous ones, those on his right, they're going to say to him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and thirsty and needing clothes and sick or in prison? Well, when did this happen?" Well, in verse 40, Jesus says, well, the king will say, "I tell you the truth. When you did it for one of the least of these brothers or sisters of mine, you did it for me." Wow. So whenever we do something for a brother or sister who is considered the least of these, meaning someone who is weak, they're sick, they're tired, they're hungry, these are brothers or sisters, people of the faith. Now, we don't always know who belongs to Jesus and who doesn't. We don't always know who's going to believe in Jesus one day and who's not. So that means we need to help everyone that we can. Sometimes when we help people, they get the best of us. This happened to me and my wife. We were in Savannah last summer. It was a date night. We were walking down Bay Street, and a guy stopped us on the corner. He was looking for money. And he had palm leaves, and he was decorating flowers, and he gave one to my wife. So I opened up my wallet, and I gave him a pretty decent amount of money because I wanted to help. Well, my wife and I started to walk off, and we turned around and looked back at him, and he was gone. He ran across Bay Street as fast as he could, and he took the money we had just given him, and he went right into the liquor store. And my wife and I were standing there going, why did we give him that money? Now, working in the ministry, working in a church, a lot of times I hear a lot of stories from people and they need help, but a lot of times those stories aren't true and they didn't really need that help after all. They were trying to scam us. And I had one of those situations over the weekend where somebody came in and they were looking for assistance, and when they first started telling me their story, I was kind of scratching my head thinking, I don't know if this story is true or not. But I knew that we needed to help because if the story was true, there was a serious need. And I'm really glad that we took the time out of our day and we were able to offer this person assistance. Because the next day, the more we dug in, the more it seemed like the story was really credible and they really, really needed help. The truth of the matter is this: we don't always know if when we're trying to help someone, if we're actually helping them or not. But here's what I do know from the scripture we just read. Whenever we help someone, we're not really just doing it for them. We're doing it for Jesus. So go out there, be a good steward of what you have. Of course, be smart with everything God's given you. But go out there and be faithful and look for ways to help others. Because when you help others, you are helping Jesus. You're doing something good for Jesus. Because you might be helping a brother or sister in the faith, or someone who might come to believe in Jesus one day. And when you do that, when you help them, you're doing it for Jesus. So go out there and live a life for Jesus and be a helper for Jesus. Hey, look, I hope you have a great day. See ya.